Hello, this is another Just Turn here. We have
Skyler Reed.
Yeah, and tell a little bit about yourself.
I mean, if you want the beginning,
Do it all.
do it all, right? I've watched wrestling my entire life, basically. My mom is who got me into it, got all the wrestling from, like the 60s, 70s. She used to record them on VHS tape. And so,
To those who don't know, there's a little box.
little boxes, yeah. I'm a little old. No.
I'm a lot old.
And so basically I used to watch VHS tapes of wrestling, and then slowly but surely just picked up on what was going on, and I'm basically like an encyclopedia. That's what most people joke about.
Hey, that's good. That's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a generic question that you probably heard a billion times, kind of verbatim. What wrestling or what got you really, I know you said your mom, but what wrestler, like you said, this is who I like. Once I saw this wrestler, I'm like, wow, I have to get into the business because of this. This inspired me. And it doesn't have to be a wrestler. It could be anything. A kid beat you up at school, and he's like, nope, I'm going to get back at you.
That didn't happen, no. I grew up boxing. My dad was a Golden Glove boxer, so getting beat up at school didn't happen. That's a tough one. It's always tough because, like, so as a fan, what got me, I mean, it was Hulk Hogan back in the 80s. Everyone loved Hogan. I was more of a Sting guy, you know, him just retiring and everything. But to get into the business was Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh.
I love Too Cold Scorpio. I've got to be on a show with him and talk to him a little bit. And as amazing as he was on TV.
Outstanding. So, as that I said that, this is really this question people like really have to think. What match that you've seen are like, wow, this is the greatest, and it doesn't even have to be a Dave Meltzer 5-star match. It could be any match that you've seen that says, wow, this is the greatest match I've ever seen. It's just stuck in the back of my head.
Who's Dave Meltzer?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I don't know who he is either.
Greatest match I've seen. Yeah, you're putting me on the thinking spot.
We try to do that. No.
First one that popped into my head is the one, so again, being an encyclopedia, people ask me, oh man, what matches to watch? And I help train guys now, and sometimes they ask me about matches to watch. And this is probably whoever's going to watch is probably going to catch them off guard. But Ric Flair's return to WCW, it was Ric Flair and Arn Anderson in a 2 out of 3 falls match, Clash of the Champions versus the Hollywood Blondes. And like I'm even getting the tingles right now. The eruption that you get when Flair comes back, I can't remember if they were in North Carolina or not, but like the crowd reaction that he gets is ridiculous. And Arn Anderson's, he's amazing. He speaks for himself. And Austin at that time was a technician. He wasn't just a brawler. And Flying Brian, of course, you can't say anything wrong about that guy. And they just clicked.
Outstanding.
I bet you never got that one before. Huh?
No, I have not. I've heard so far. It's always the Hardy's Boy FTR. This is the first time, so and that's a good one. See, I'm older. I watch these. Fresh one is brand new. I'm like, wow, look at that.
Yeah. And you're probably gonna have to go back and watch that one because that one's one that nobody remembers ever.
I like when the Hollywood Blondes, the clashing of their styles when they compete with other teams. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Like Flying Brian was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
If he was now, just imagine, because there's a stigma like, oh, you have to be this. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah. See, I wasn't actually a big fan of his back then. I know a lot of people loved him, and it's kind of like the way I feel about Owen Hart. People love Owen Hart, and then I'm like, when I grew up, I didn't care for Owen Hart.
Are you sure you could talk bad about Canada?
Oh, I could give you 100 million Canadian wrestlers better than Owen Hart, but
okay, let's do that.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go. So you got Rene Goulet of the Eastern Canadians. The Tunnies running the Toronto territory. Those guys are amazing. Obviously, Bret Hart's better than Owen Hart. I could even say like Edge and Christian are basically better if you want to come further this way. Pat Patterson.
If you talk about Christian, you're good.
Pat Patterson's way ahead of Owen Hart on every level. Just go watch his time with Ray Stevens. Now I just swallowed my gum.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Character
He actually
work.
said Ray Stevens.
That's the Crippler, man. The original Crippler.
Yeah.
If you want to go for character work, the Moondogs, those dudes were amazing. Why am I blanking? I think it was Spot is from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
And I lived in Newfoundland for some time. For even the newer people that love their Kenny Omegas, Canadian, I guess I'll say Chris Jericho, sorry. Not a big fan of Chris Jericho, but definitely better than Owen Hart.
You heard it here first.
Bobby Roode?
Oh, yeah.
Way ahead of Owen Hart. Come on.
It's sad that no one really gives him his due. Like his TNA days.
Amazing.
You know what's sad? And this is an offshoot. He was in the wrong time period. Mm-hmm. If he was in the 80s, people would be talking about Bobby Roode this, Bobby Roode that, Bobby Roode this. He was just ahead of his time.
If he was, I feel like if he was an NWA guy.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Or even early WCW, but obviously Rick Rude was there at that point. But man, that guy was so good, and he was even good in his time. Yeah. But he missed getting to WWE.
Yeah.
When he got there, they didn't need him.
Exactly. It's unfortunate.
That's Eric Young's the same way. Yeah. Also Canadian.
Yeah. Another really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Again, WWE dropped the ball on that one a great deal.
Oh, okay. I won't let you slander the WWE for that.
Oh no, I'm not slandering. But some wrestlers, he's really good. Like back now in TNA, watching him, wow, what did they not see? What did Vince did not see in that? I don't know.
Didn't need him.
Well,
because look at Sanity, all of them didn't need any of them.
Yeah, very true. Now here's a question. You probably heard this a million times, and you probably know. What does the indies mean to you? Because one of the things, like I started to say, you always heard people talk indies, but there wasn't really hard to find. Now, Bless and Soul, you could find it everywhere, and it's fun. It's something different. You're seeing new stars. You're seeing wrestlers that you probably never had a chance, but now you see it and you're like, wow, this is great. So what do you?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing 211 pounds, the Canadian anarchist, Skyler Reed.
To you, for you.
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
I like loaded questions.
I would say it's a fun place for wrestling. WWE and AEW and TNA and New Japan and all these, they have fun too, but so I grew up playing basketball as well, and
Believe it or not, me too.
Nice.
I love basketball, but something didn't happen for me.
Me too. I was actually told by a coach. So I ended up getting some NBA tryouts, 20 years ago? I don't want to age myself. But, and the G League or D League at that time of the NBA is kind of like, you go to their games and it's just goofy and fun and it's still serious basketball. Same thing with minor league baseball. You go there and they have Star Wars nights and this and that and wrestling nights sometimes. And it's just a good, wholesome, fun time. But it can also get really competitive too. They go in there and you're ready to battle, right? Semi-pro football. I played semi-pro football and arena football. And that's the same thing where it's fun and, families are in the stands cheering on their dads and, uncles and stuff like that. And that's kind of what indie wrestling is to me. It's you go there and, yeah, some families can't spend, $100 on a ticket, and they spend, $20, $50, and they get, everybody can come, and kids get to get up close and personal and learn these people, and even fans, they come and oh yeah, I saw you down there doing this, and I followed you here, and like one of my favorite people is George. He'll probably watch this, so this is a shout out to him. He comes with Canadian hockey sweaters and jerseys, but I seen that the first time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So now every time I see him, I get a picture with him. And this past, I have it in my phone, but I can't remember. It was a CFL team. Was it the Argonauts? It's gonna bug me. But he had a CFL Canadian Football League jersey on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that picture. And it's more fun for me as the wrestler to go and interact with fans and talk. And when people find out, like, oh man, you lived in Canada, because they want to debunk me sometimes, and it doesn't work. So to me, indie wrestling is that. I don't know if there's an actual word for it, but it's all of that in
You don't even matter. I matter. What was that? All these clowns. All these clowns.
I hope she doesn't give this moron a shot at the RCCW Heartbreaker Championship.
Now, Alex McCarthy, you know that Blair Onyx isn't afraid of anybody. She never backs down from a fight with any man or woman.
I'm not saying, right, no, I know that. But what I'm saying is, the Heartbreaker Championship is not the best of my knowledge. We saw them do this last time. I don't even like these guys. And I've hung out with some questionable characters in my life. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Alex, of course, a graduate of the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. Been all over the country, all over the wrestling championships, just about everywhere. Skyler Reed's eternal quest to go viral. We need him to challenge for women's championships.
If he really wants to go viral, he just stop getting his vaccinations. Look at this. A battle of the wrist locks. Reed keeping Onyx away from the ropes. Clenching that arm now.
Blair Onyx showing she is extremely technically proficient.
But when you have 8 arms and you're a spider, there's a lot of ways you can
Get that
grab.
jacket in MS Paint.
Quite possibly.
Oh, come on. Oh, 1 count only. Way to go, Blair Onyx.
I enjoy that.
Get her off the roll. Come on, 1. I'm going to be straight up. I'm not really objective here. Blair Onyx is a friend of mine.
When are you ever objective?
I don't like these 2 stinking Canadians.
All right. Just making sure.
Do they claim him?
Well, he's Canadian by association with Skyler Reed.
Okay. I mean, we know Skyler Reed's Canadian, but I don't know about Logan Ross.
3. I'm not joking. Not even touching.
Oh, come on, Skyler Reed.
Hey, shut up, you're stupid.
Going downstairs on Blair Onyx.
Hey, come on.
Oh, come on.
He biting
Get
you?
him out of the corner, ref. Come on.
Referee's got his work cut out for him. These guys, Skyler Reed and Logan Ross, will take every shortcut.
Oh, come on. He's choking with a boot.
They'll do whatever it takes to win. Normally I don't fault them, but these guys, they're just kind of despicable. Keep an eye on Logan Ross. No relation to Rick. Oh, big elbow.
Next player, that
Onyx, you're welcome.
Oh, wait. Skyler Reed's got her caught. Oh,
Big forearm to the back.
forearm is like, I think you saw that elbow was coming.
Hitting me so hard. Look, help me out.
Why,
trying to win the
why is
professional
she hitting you so hard? You're in a wrestling match, pal. You're in a fight. Come on. Stop worrying about your views and your clicks and your likes. Oh, come on, ref, get in there. Turn around.
This really is disgusting.
Despicable
Out of
behavior.
himself.
I mean, let's be honest. I've seen you do that a time or two.
I've never choked Blair Onyx.
Not to Blair Onyx.
Oh. Well, like I said, sometimes it doesn't bother me, you know, 'cause you gotta do whatever it takes to win.
I don't hear you now.
Not a fan of Skyler Reed. And like I said, a broken clock is right twice a day. The people of Wisconsin actually right about.
Skyler Reed's so despicable. We want to send him back. Canada doesn't want to let him back in.
That's true, and that's why I think Logan Ross is a man without a country, because nobody wants him.
Let's send them both out to sea and never let the boat come back. Oh, spids are through.
Interesting
Strongest arm
maneuver.
you've ever seen.
The strongest arms I've ever. I don't think that's true.
Those are not the 24-inch pythons. Oh, 2 count
measure?
only.
I don't have any more moves. What do I do now?
I can just tell by eye.
He did all this. Are those playbills? Is this jacket playbills?
That's outstanding. Now here's another round ball. I'm throwing all these right.
I got you.
I'm Italian, so I have to use my hands.
Yeah, no
So
worries.
you said you for boxing. I just had to say I was Italian. People don't mess around with me, even though I wasn't ever involved with the mob. Okay, no, but
I've had some run-ins with mob people, so no.
I could take care of that for you. No, I mean,
I can't see
Yeah.
my face.
what do you think I have this on? Now, what would you call your? You said Too Cold Scorpio. So what's your wrestling style? Is that who you try to follow? You know, what kind of style do you have? And second part of the question, with now like how wrestling's evolving, what moves do you think should be still protected and not protected? Because I have this conversation all the time.
Ooh, all moves should be protected. Are we trying to shoot now?
No, well, no, but for
all
instance,
moves, all moves should be protected.
because like for instance, the pile driver, a long time ago, that was all. Now it's like a setup move.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I can understand to a certain extent, and I'm not old man radio, but I can get on my soapbox sometimes. But like, I understand a pile driver being protected now because now people do flip pile drivers. Canadian Destroyer, right? P.D. Williams.
Yeah.
Also Canadian.
Yeah.
So like, everything evolves. I mean, I love football, but football evolved. I love basketball, but it's evolved. Wrestling, it's evolved. So like, guys and gals are like crazy athletes now. Like, you think, I don't know if I can say his name because
could say
it
all.
sounds inappropriate, but like Dick the Bruiser is not going to go do a flip pile driver or a backflip off the top rope. You know what? Perfect. Perfect example of evolving, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm using my hands too
Yeah.
now. Terry Funk. Terry Funk came in as this amateur, like, old school based wrestler back when he won the NWA title, and Dory Funk, senior and junior, and that was his style. Well, then all of a sudden he became this wild man, and the people were like, "Whoa!" His feud with Ric Flair, when he turned on him and pile drivered him on the table, right? Completely an animal, right? And then all of a sudden he goes to Eastern Championship Wrestling, and he's a commentator, and he's your color guy, and he's very distinguished. And oh man, the look at his finish, right? The spinning toe hold.
Yep.
Like, this guy would wild brawl you and barbed wire and all this stuff, but he'd put the spinning toe hold on as a finish. And so, like, wrestling in itself it should all be protected. But it's also going to evolve. Like, guys doing super kicks. Well, you know, Shawn Michaels hits the super kick, it's over.
Yep.
Well, the Young Bucks hit 20 super kicks.
And it's not over.
It's not over. And, like, you're, like, Pentagon, and I'm not really, I don't follow AEW very, very often, so I don't really know what his name is, but Pentagon Jr. is what I knew him as, and, like, he hits a super kick, it's not over. And it's like, then that's the setup, like you said. It might be a setup for them to hit something bigger, that package pile driver, boom. And it's one of those things where all wrestling, all moves should be protected.
Well, I like the answer. That's the first time someone says it that way.
And your other question was, like, my style compared to, definitely not Too Cold Scorpio. Yeah. That guy was, we talked about ahead of his time.
Yes.
Like, doing a 450 when you're 250 pounds. Like,
I remember his first match in NWA at the time, turning to WCW. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when NWA came back in. And, which, actually, one of my favorite matches is he and Barry Windham for the NWA title.
Yeah.
Also, that's on the same Clash of the Champions card that I referenced earlier. But style-wise, it's so weird for me. So certain fans see me in one style, and then I go someplace else, I'm a different style. And I go someplace else, and I'm a different style. Like, at one time, I was doing flips and stuff, and suicide dives, and planches over the top, and house show dives, and all this random stuff. Then in some places, I'm kind of a goofball. I'll admit it. Like, I have fun. Like, there's some places where I am.
Introducing first from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing 211 pounds, the Canadian anarchist, Skyler Reed.
Wow! Turn around,
Reed
put him in the corner.
I tell you, Gunner Brave, one of those Energizer bunnies right there that just keeps going and going and going.
Not going to stop until he gets his way.
This kid really knows how to orchestrate the ring very, very well. Gunner Brave, the USA chant going off. Shoulder to shoulder, these two titans in the middle of the ring. Head or a shin, and I think that's exactly what Skyler Reed is trying to do. Oh, he's going to wrap that chain around. Turns it into a submission move. That's a one-legged Boston Crab. You got to be careful right here. What's Chet doing?
Chet's stretching his leg out. What are you doing?
He's not getting back into the ring. He doesn't. Chair hurts rear end.
But it's a padded chair. It's a padded chair, though.
Gunner Brave is taking an absolute beating right now from Skyler Reed.
Yeah, he is.
USA chants going around St. Joseph Park. I tell you, he weakened that shin, and he is not stopping. Now he's dragging Gunner Brave around, utilizing the second rope to choke. Now he's going outside the ring. This is going to get very, very dangerous. You have a chain connected between these two. Gunner Brave trying to go up to the top. Skyler Reed. Gunner Brave, this is not good. Onto the chairs.
Lift him by the chain onto
Gunner
the chairs.
Brave. My gosh, that could collapse your airways. You talk about danger.
Wow.
2 counts, and Gunner Brave kicks out.
Whew, how do I put this? I am a sexist, horrible person. And some shout out to my manager, Logan Ross, the social media manager. That's how we got this bad boy here. No Regrets Wrestling, right? That's my shout out for them.
I think he's scheduled to be on here.
Logan?
Yeah.
Sweet.
With the colorful jackets and all
Yep,
that? Yep.
yep.
I have so many names now that I'm like, okay.
With him, he and I were cheating women out of women titles at one point. So those matches are on YouTube. I think I sent you one.
I think so.
Leslie Michelle's a rival and a favorite. Let's put it that way. And we tried to cheat her out of her women's championship, and I'm losing names. Blair Onyx.
She on our other show, she was our indie star of the.
We tried to cheat her out of her title. Usually the owners of the company catch us and things happen, but no spoilers. You can watch that on YouTube. Sierra, I've tried to cheat her out of her championship as well. That one didn't work out very well. She's tough.
Yes.
And so some places I'm that, and then other places I'm beloved and I do very dirty things and people still cheer. So
that means something, right?
Yeah,
you're doing something right.
Sometimes I get confused. I don't even know. I'm like, I'm the same guy. Why are you people cheering? And these people hate me, and these people love me, and some people think I'm despicable. Yeah, so my style is I brawl sometimes. I'm actually really technical. Like I love World of Sport. I know I'm all over the place with wrestling, but I love World of Sport, and like that. You watch that and it's just technical, grabbing each hand and toe and leg and arm and whatever you can touch, and that's my actual style. I'm trying to think who's around now. Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, I was good.
Perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne, he does that very well. Trent Seven, Tyler Bate, kind of. You know, most of those England guys. ICW in England is pretty big, and that technical style is kind of my favorite. But yeah, I'm a goof. I'm a fighter, technician, high flying.
Very versatile.
Yeah, whatever I'm working against is kind of what I do.
Yeah, you're a true chameleon of the sport.
I agree.
Yeah. See? Outstanding.
You know, at one time I used to come out dancing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Disco Inferno? Come on.
Oh, I love Disco Inferno.
Alex
People
Wright.
hate him. Yep.
I'm just saying dancing. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying dancing.
Yeah, that's what we'll go with.
Okay.
Yep.
What do you think is the most misunderstood concept of a wrestler? What people are judgmental, what people are...
Most understood. Misunderstood.
Yep.
Wow. I honestly don't know. There's so many.
Can I just throw some out and you...
Yeah, you throw them out. That's
one of the things, like, and I discovered a long time ago, it's far from it. Like, a lot of people say, oh, wrestlers, they're not educated. They're probably some of the smartest people. Some of them, deep down, are very smart. Some other people say, oh, these people didn't... You're not agreeing?
Yeah, there's some... the reason I laughed is because there are some promoters and some... and like, throughout the ages of wrestling, I'm not just saying, you know, promoters in this area or anything, but there's some shady individuals. So, like, there's some pretty smart, shady people, you know? Like, that's what made me laugh.
Street
like,
smarts versus book smarts, yeah.
No, they're not street smart, but they're like, they can pull one over on you, you know? Like, think of, okay, this is an encyclopedia opening. think of like the outlaw promotions back when there were territories. Those guys were booking territories inside of territories. Like, that's pretty smart, but also kind of like, well, you're an idiot. Like, people feel that about Vince McMahon sometimes. Like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But then you're like, yeah, he's kind of built this empire of wrestling, so he's kind of smart.
He's very smart, and to tell you the truth, again, a lot of people judge.
Yeah.
But because of him, that's why it's this big, worldwide. Like, you know, there was Ric Flair. Ric Flair was fit, but who did everyone know? Hulk Hogan. He could go anywhere. Hulk Hogan. You can't make that mistake.
Ric Flair even said that himself.
Yeah. So, and again, it's sad. Now everyone, he's evil. And I'm not saying he's not. But for the sport, he was the biggest influence ever. Yeah. There's nothing even close.
Yep.
Like, our director, he's older than I am, and he's like, I love the territories. Yes, those were great. The territories were great. But it would never work. It would have fizzled. If there was no Vince McMahon, it would have ended up fizzling out because you can't maintain that.
I think they would have all fought each other to the death.
Yeah.
Like, it could have worked, but then it would have been so, for lack of a better word, regional.
Yeah.
And, like, too much now with the internet and stuff like that, some of these guys would have figured out a way to go make more money somewhere else. So even if you did have your territories, like, everyone would end up in New York. Like, and that's what happened, right?
Exactly. Very good. Okay, this is the big question.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The rest have been nothing, What is your ultimate goal? What do you say, in 10 years from now, 20 years from now?
Wrestling-wise?
Wrestling-wise.
Okay. Well, by that point, I want to be out of it. I don't want to be that old.
Well, you could be like a trainer.
Well, I help train people now, so I kind of get to do that. Shout out, House of Headlocks. They're pretty dope. They're good people over there. Mustafa and TC Washington run that. More so Mustafa, but got to give TC his shout out too. Let's see. This is gonna sound very weird. I like to make jokes, but I've touched a lot of people in that place. My trainer, Angel Armani, like he ran an awesome school, and they kind of going a little in the same direction of what he did. So that's another shout out, Angel Armani. Let's see, myself, I always thought about opening a wrestling school, and like nowadays there's a bunch opening, and I've thought about that. I've thought about running shows. I've helped book and do producer work and agent work for a bunch of places in the Midwest. I've thought about, just hanging it up and just walking away some days. But I don't really have any like real goals. I wanted to wrestle in Japan at one point. I've got to wrestle against someone that was Japanese, so that kind of counts for me. I've wrestled out of the country, obviously Canadian.
But other than Canada, do you wrestle like were you ever like in Europe?
I thought about going to Europe one time, and I don't know.
Because I've tried to expand everything. Like I said, I don't know if you watch every ring that's everything wrestling. When I go for indies, I go because I watch SIW, Superior Italian Wrestling. Not just because I'm Italian, but to watch that, to see different style. And it's amazing because around the world, the style difference, like watching New Japan, All Japan, they'll find they're the mixture, I think luchador and stuff now, it's really mixed. But European, you could see a little bit of that. Some people try to do, but it's very matte oriented. And with SIW, I've noticed everyone loves to do the 619. That's why we're saying some moves should be protected, should be limited to some people. But everyone is doing the 619. I don't even think they know what the 619 means, but when they say it, 619. So that's why I asked if you ever had a chance to do like Europe, Mexico,
Yeah, I've been asked to go south of the border a few times. Normally, I don't really match up schedule-wise. Europe, I was asked one time, and again, at that time, there was a lot more going on in life, so I couldn't just put everything down and go. Which is why I'm in the States and Canada. So like, I had more time then to just put everything down and just do what I wanted. But I guess the only goal I really have is, so I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I tell everybody this, but once they're old enough to recognize like, hey, I know that dude in there. Now they watch like videos of mine and they've been at shows, but you can tell they like get it, but they don't get it. Once they're able to recognize what's going on, then I'm done. That exact night, I'll be like, I'm out of here. Yep.
Personnel. This is a question I always ask. What's more important, wrestling ability or charisma?
Charisma.
Yeah, thank you.
Doesn't matter. Wrestling ability, it's going to probably rub some people the wrong way, but wrestling ability doesn't matter.
No.
Once, all right, we're going to pull the curtain back a little bit. Once you're able to feed off the crowd, this is so random, but there's a Godzilla figurine over there, and it just caught my attention. So easily entertained. But pulling the curtain back, once you're able to feed off the crowd and that entertainment, that energy, you don't need to do moves anymore. Biggest example in the entire world is Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
You know, that for those of you that don't know, go watch Hulk Hogan in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, Hulk Hogan can go.
Yes.
And he can keep up with some of the best Japanese wrestlers of all time. And, I mean, even watch some of his matches with Ric Flair in WCW. But once he goes Hulkamania, you're like, I don't even care what he does. We all just wanted to see the leg drop in the big boot.
Yep.
And him to, you know, slam a guy. And you're like, yes. Think, what was it, 93,000 fans, WrestleMania 3, right? What did they come to see?
Hulk Hogan.
They wanted to see him slam Andre.
Yeah, yep.
That was it.
Yep.
They didn't care if the match ended in a DQ, the belt was thrown out the window. They didn't care about any of that. But they also got Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat earlier.
Yep.
And to a certain degree, yeah, they cared about the moves and stuff. But there were so many more things. You know, the Roddy Piper thing, him going baby, turning, the cutting and strutting, right? Yeah. With Brutus Beefcake and the shears to that was Adrian Adonis, right?
Yep. Yep.
Like, that had nothing to do with wrestling.
Nope.
But that's what they exploded for.
Exactly.
You know, body slam challenge at WrestleMania 1, and like, Undertaker's a perfect example. Yeah, Undertaker can do all types of stuff. We sit there on our, just staring for that 15-minute entrance, right? We're like, this is amazing, it's Undertaker. No one cares about moves.
No.
They don't.
See, that's one of the things I keep on saying. Like, you could have, let's say, Chris Benoit, great ability, but the poor, well, I won't sympathize that way, but communication, no charisma. It's sad, you know, that limit.
Yeah.
Then you get someone like Eddie Guerrero. He could do it, but he had that charisma. That.
Think about it. No one cared about him in WCW or ECW.
Nope.
WWE starts doing this Mamacita thing with China, and everyone's like, ooh, hey, let's tune into that.
Yep. And similar to like Dominic, Dirty Dom. You know, he's one of the best heels doing nothing, minimalism.
Absolutely nothing.
And he gets the crowd every time, even at his wedding. That's heat.
Here's a fun, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Who's the best heel of all time?
Best heel of all time. Nick Bockwinkel.
Ooh, okay, I'll give you that.
Do you want to give me the reason why?
He's definitely top 5 for me.
I think he was the top heel because he was so intellectual. He played to your strengths that made you look bad at what you're good at. And I think that's just all. The crowds he's talking down to everyone, and the crowds reacted. See, I think that's top heel, and he wasn't the biggest guy. And if you look at his wrestling matches, he got beat more than anything else. But the crowd's heat. How about yourself?
So the reason why I brought that up, because I wanted to use someone that actually has no wrestling ability.
Yeah.
It's Vince McMahon.
Oh.
When Mr. McMahon turned, so oddly enough, at this exact moment, I'm going back through Nitro and Raw and watching simultaneously. And I'm at the point where Bret Hart got screwed over, right? And the day that Vince said Bret screwed Bret and turned to that heel and people started booing him, like, he exploded. Think of all the feuds that guy had, and he wasn't a wrestler.
Nope.
His matches were kind of pedestrian at best, but you wanted to see someone punch him in the face. If it was The Rock or Stone Cold or Undertaker or Shawn Michaels at a certain degree, Ric Flair, like, every single guy that came to him exploded. And that's why I think he's the greatest heel of all time.
You're right. See,
it has nothing to do with wrestling.
Nope. You're right. You're right. So, what we just mentioned that. What are your top 5 wrestlers? Could be anyone. Could be from the Indies. Could be from back in the day. Not back in my day. Whatever, like that. Whatever. Top 5 wrestlers.
Can I give you top 5 in each category?
Go for it.
Like,
you could do whatever. Like I
back
said,
in the day, I can give you 5, and then I can give you 5
whatever you
now.
want. Like I said, this is you.
And I can give you my 5 from. Where is your predominant viewing zone? Is it like the Wisconsin area?
It's spreading. It started in Wisconsin, but the Philippines watch.
Nice.
Where the only place Italy has not picked up. Canada.
We're going for Italy next. Coming for you.
Canada. A lot of people have watched us, so we're all over the place.
All right. I'll give you Wisconsin just because I know that's your home base. But so let's see. Back in the day, my 5 to like I enjoyed watching. Definitely Sting. He's my number 1 baby, good guy, whatever you want to call it. 2 Cold Scorpio, obviously. Love 2 Cold Scorpio. So this is gonna sound strange. I love Mick Foley, but I only like Cactus Jack. I don't like any of the other ones. Dude Love made me laugh, yeah. Mankind, okay, fine, sure. That's his most popular, but Cactus Jack was like my guy back in the day. Let's see. I guess I could go further than that. Got me on the spot. I thought I would be able to wrap these up pretty fast, but Vader. I love Vader.
Vader was amazing. Now when you're hearing all these stories now about him, I'm like, oh, don't take that away from me. I just thought his presence. It was Vader time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there with the big mask, the smoke coming out.
When I was a kid, the mask scared me. Don't tell anybody, Mom. But yeah, the mask, the first time he put it on the stage and it blew fire or sparks or whatever, oh man, I was terrified as a kid. I was like, what is he going to do to Sting? No. And it sucked because he beat up Cactus Jack and Sting, so it kind of, that's 4, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Why would I miss Arn Anderson? He's always in my top.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's...
I think it's sad, like, no one really realized his ability. Like, he was really in-ring, but he was... The story he told in the ring. Like, he broke, body parts. Arm, drag down, leg. Just one of the prime... Like, when you want to think of what's the perfect wrestler with all the strength, Arn Anderson.
Oh,
I always said that.
By far.
And people always look at me funny. He was like you'd never seen him when in his prime.
Yeah,
I've seen him in his prime.
That's true.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, guys, everybody would tell you Arn Anderson, just because of so much work that he did with John Cena in WWE, and then back then, like everyone, like 90s and 80s, they all knew Arn Anderson. Like that that guy is amazing. Like, he and Tully were good. He and Barry Windham were good. Him and Zbyszko were good. The match that I gave you earlier, him and Flair were really good. I'm telling you, I'm putting this over. If you have not seen Arn Anderson Flair versus the Blondes, like, you need to go find it on your network or
If you're
Peacock.
a wrestling fan, go see it.
Yeah.
Right then, that should be.
Exactly. And it's when Ric Flair comes back, so you get to see the Flair for the old.
Has some historic value.
And Shockmaster's in that, so you get the. Let's
not discuss that one. That was sad because it's WCW being cheap with the boy that ruined his life.
I didn't ruin his life. He still got paid for a couple more years.
Yeah, but still, he's a joke. Well, not he, him. No, he's not. But joke.
That means he's still over, though.
I guess.
Because think about it. All right, do you remember Big Steel Man?
No.
Exactly.
What's that?
That's him.
Huh?
Yeah. Like, we all remember Shockmaster. Though. Like, most people don't remember Tugboat or Typhoon or any of that. But Shockmaster, because of that fall. Can you tell me one person he feuded with in WCW?
As
Shockmaster?
Shockmaster? Nope.
See?
Yeah. You're right. I am wrong.
Still to this day, he is. Oh man, that's the guy that fell through the wall.
Well, he goes to conventions and people go to him. So.
And he sells those little helmets. Like that's insane.
I'm surprised George Lucas didn't want a little bit of the profit.
It's wrestling.
Yeah. So I don't want to keep you too long.
Oh man, when we talk wrestling, I can talk wrestling all day.
I can too. I want this part. Tell what's going on, like upcoming events. This is you. Promote yourself. Do whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. If you have someone that owes you money, you better pay up.
No, sorry. I don't want to break any cords or anything.
That's okay.
You know who it is. Let's see. So I'm going to pull out my phone because I know there's too many dates that I'll forget.
And plus, if you could send it to me also, then I can put it.
Yeah.
Because I'll have your picture, then I'll have all the stuff. I want to look professional.
I'm a pretty cool dude sometimes. Yeah. But, so you can follow me. We've been talking about this all day. Skyler Reed, the number 2 and the letter L. You remember I used to dance. So Skyler Reed used to be Too Legit Skyler Reed. Don't look that up on YouTube.
Look that up on YouTube.
And so Skyler Reed 2L is Too Legit. The whole MC Hammer and some people that are going to watch this are probably going to start singing Too Legit.
Too legit.
I never said I was good at dancing, but
it's perspective and objective and subjective.
Sure. SKYLARREED, because people spell my name with an E and it drives me up a wall. But do you know why it's Skyler Reed?
No, I do not know.
See, now I'm just full of fun and joy. Yeah. So Skyler's the most annoying. What's the word I'm looking for? Like dual gender name I could think of. And to be annoying even more, I spelled it with an A. SKYLAR. And then Reed, I love Butch Reed.
I was going to say that, Butch Reed.
Doom and Natural Butch Reed before that. Just Butch Reed was awesome.
A few weeks ago, they were our classic wrestlers.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. You missed me by like a couple weeks. But no, Butch Reed, Mid-South Butch Reed is really good. Really good. Really, really hot baby face down there. So yeah, I just put that together. I thought Reed was a really cool perspective. But yeah, that's a shoot.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. We're supposed to be working here, brother. So let's see. Yeah. So I know this is not gonna air, but I'm gonna defend this Slamming Championship Wrestling belt there. I got you, Just Jake. That's gonna be the 23rd of March. I'm gonna beat whoever they put in front of me. Just telling it. It's Yeti. Remember that Yeti. I'm going to do a video on you later, so look out for that. Then we got March 30th is going to be FTW. Yeah. So we actually didn't talk about this, but when I came into thinking about wrestling, I always thought about being. So I had an 8-pack abs. I was shredded
I
back
did
then.
too once.
Yeah, it was good times. And I always thought, like, man, I'm not as big as Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior or whoever, Sting. They're all like 6 bajillion feet tall. I always wanted to be a ring, or not a ring announcer, but a color commentator, a play-by-play. And I always tried to figure out how to get into that because
You have a great voice for it.
Thanks.
You really do.
I appreciate it. So I actually do commentary now, and I've been told I'm pretty good at it. So I do play-by-play by myself for Frozen Tundra Wrestling. That's run by Simon Says. You can probably get him on here at some point. That's going to be on March 30th. Boop, flip that. And then we've got, I'll skip them again. I don't need to say the same place twice. Rocket Pro Wrestling. I am actually going for the Rocket Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. When you say championships, do you put the S on the end of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, especially if they're tag teams, right?
Exactly.
So Devin August and I are the Kings of the Six. He moved over to my Canadian alliance with me. Kings of the Six because the Six is actually called, or the Six is actually what Toronto is called. Toronto, if you're a baker boy, because that's what I tell them all the time. And we're wrestling Shogun and Marche Rocket. Yeah, so some pretty well-known dudes, especially in the Illinois area. And then we're going to skip ahead a couple months because I don't want to put over the same company over and over. But this right here,
that's a beautiful.
Oh man,
belt.
it's so heavy. You want to hold it up? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So
it is heavy.
Look at that. Yeah. This is the No Regrets Wrestling World Class Champion. That's me, Skyler Reed, of course. June 15th, I'm wrestling. Let's see. His name is Steve, and I feel bad because he has a name. I'm going to look him up so I can put him over. I believe it's Steve Sawyer, but I've only met him a handful of times, and I feel bad about it. That's heavy, right? You're holding that up. You didn't have to hold it up too long.
My shoulders.
Absolutely.
I won the title. I'm going to go defend it for you.
Oh, it's world class, Steve, and the belt is named after him. Do you think they set me up to fail?
Hopefully not.
No. But
you're a winner.
I actually just won this a couple weeks ago at EverCon for No Regrets Wrestling. Super fun time. I won a battle royal where I had to give somebody, Logan Ross, I had to give him CPR in the middle of a battle royal. It was insane. That was like, I went number 1 to number whatever, the end. Like Shawn Michaels did back in the day. Over Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Bell to bell.
Yeah.
Bell to bell.
That's.
And then the same night, I wrestled the champion and put his shoulders to the mat.
That's a winner.
I didn't hit him with the title.
No. Wink, wink.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, outstanding.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, so much fun. So much fun.
Thank you. That's another episode of Just Turn Heel.